initiate chaos theory guarantees that we'll play like lightning shots, sounding like thunder. For every time in the face that it hits us, we're faster. Well, they should know by now. They see the world keeps trying to shake us. It only waits us. The pendulum swings. The pendulum swings. It's in a beautiful darkness. Only another. It's full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. All above the Petty Express. Misdirected from the start. It's a runaway train. I come a freight train. I come a freight train. In a beautiful darkness, the Petty Express. In a beautiful darkness.
Okay, you guys, sorry about that. Well, at least I got most of my lunch in, and we have a verdict, allegedly, and we're only a little bit behind.
I have like the brown paper to lay out so that when they open up the night, there's just a rate. Okay. And that
Now, this is according to the chat. Dooby dooby doo.
our two questions were provided to the court. Now it's been marked as CJ number 4. Is there a count 10? The answer to that is no. There is not a count 10 for you to consider. We did not mess up the verdict sheet. There's no count 10. The second question is marked as CJ number 5. Indicates, can we see exhibit S313? S313 is the knife. So this is what we're going to do for you. We have some.
Wait a minute.
You can go with our officer, please. Can I have the white noise on, and can I see the attorneys, please?
Okay. According to, there's some sort of mod in Law and Crime, I believe. We've been told they will be back on the record shortly. I mean, allegedly, I hope everyone got a chance to get some lunch. I feel bad. I did tell you guys that you had enough of a chance. Yeah, I do wonder if there is someone. Well, allegedly, we have a verdict in. That's according to Law and Crime, but now the verdict clock is running again. So I am not aware. I don't know. It's y'all, it's not like we don't have 900 years worth of stupid that we can roast the defense on if we have to wait a little bit longer.
All right. Thank you all.
Yes, I did, Jason J. Yeah, but they did that right after lunch. They came in and they got the knife. Maybe they needed to put it on the record. Because, or wait a minute. Oh, no, you guys, I'm stupid.
Verdict. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our alternates in. We'll bring the family in. I'm just, you know what? That's what I want to do. I want to bring everyone in because I want to be able to talk to them first about, I don't want to hear any emotions during the course of the verdict being read before I bring the alternates in. So if the Sheriff's Department, if you don't mind, as soon as you're ready, if you can allow people in, and then we'll go from there. All right? So I'll wait for you. Whenever you're ready, you can do that.
Sorry, guys. She was actually correct. I was on the wrong time, so it was not her fault. It was definitely Mo error. So send all bad messages to me.
Yep, you can bring everyone in.
Those butt monkeys. Well, I think they're talking to the families first before the jury's even in there. So they want to kind of the judge wants to kind of lay down the law, like no matter what happens, no matter that kind of standard
Is that what I
thing.
said? Yeah.
And that's the heartbreaking thing is no matter what the verdict, there's going to be families destroyed. I mean, there's already been an entire family annihilated, and now another family is going to be destroyed, whether or not they ever accept the fact of what happened. Still, that's a shockingly large amount of people on Paul's side. Still, I don't get it. I really don't, you guys. Looks like 4 hours, 57 minutes, and 33 seconds.
Folks, just double check your cell phones, please. Make sure they're on silent or off completely, please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the jury has indicated that they have reached a verdict. In saying that, I just wanted to remind everyone that while reading the verdict, I'm going to ask, no matter what the verdict may be, I'm going to ask for everyone, you need to keep your emotions in check to the best as you possibly can. Obviously, everyone in this room understands the emotion behind this case on both sides of the aisle. We respect that. However, for purposes of the courtroom and trying to get through the verdict, I'm asking you to do your best to control that. And then once the verdict is done being read, you'll have the opportunity outside the courtroom to be able to do whatever you feel, and I respect that also. So can everyone follow that? We good?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you all. I very much appreciate it. And again, I understand. With that being said, I'm going to ask for the alternates to be brought. And just let me know.
Kim K, blink. Oh, okay, there you are. Thought she was dead. Or the fembot was rebooting. There you go. Okay, look, I know I'm not a good judge of humaning, but how the hell does he have a full side of people just sitting behind him? How? How? I realize why her jacket bothers me. It either buttons or zipper, one or the other, not both.
All rise, court is back in session.
Okay, we can have the testimony.
Now
Okay,
there
everyone can
are
be seated. Thank you.
many counts.
Mr. Foreman, I received a note at 1:54 p.m. It indicated that we have reached a verdict. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that includes all counts?
All counts.
Okay. All right, so we've marked that as CJ-6, the communication between the court and the jury. So I'm going to go through each one of the questions with you one by one, and you'll just answer the question after I read it, okay? All right. If you don't mind, can you stand for me? Unless you're uncomfortable. Do you have your verdict sheet?
No.
Okay, do you want to get that?
Yes.
All right, thanks. As long as he has his, you guys don't all need yours. Okay, sir, we'll start from the top. All right. How do you find as to count one of the indictment charging the defendant, Paul Caneiro, with the murder of Keith Caneiro?
Guilty.
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning the defendant actively and directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement from another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro,
Oh, heck yeah. No. First of all, I would like to say that, look, we know he's going to be fucking guilty on everything. I would like to commend these two young ladies back here, because look at how they react. Those two have worked their butts off to make sure that the state has everything ready to go. They've got all the reports. They've got everything they need when the defense is acting stupid. They've had everything. They have probably worked their little, hearts out. So watch what they look like.
all right. How do you find as to count one of the indictment charging the defendant, Paul Caneiro, with the murder of Keith Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning the defendant actively and directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial?
Okay, look, and now she death stares him. On behalf of the Saint Beatrice, saint of smart asses and awesome women, for both of your wonderful examples of women in law that are both beautiful and smart and functional, we salute you. And you can side-eye him. I would allow you to get a couple licks in. But I'm not a judge yet. All right, enough shenanigansing. But I am a fan of people who are passionate about their work, truly passionate, because this is fake passion. Like, I am really passionate. They put their blood and sweat into this case, and you can tell.
Punishment or confinement from another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crimes of murder?
Yes.
Count 2. How do you find as to count 2 of the indictment charging the defendant, Paul Caneiro, with the murder of Jennifer Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning the defendant actively and directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
No.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement for another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant, Paul Caneiro, commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crimes of murder?
Yes.
3. How do you find as to count 3 of the indictment charging the defendant, Paul Caneiro, with the murder of Jesse Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did defendant Paul Caneiro commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning that defendant actively or directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
No.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement for another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crime or crimes of murder?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while Jesse Caneiro was less than 14 years old?
Yes.
Count 4. How do you find as to count 4 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the murder of Sophia Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning the defendant actively and directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
No.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement for another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crime or crimes of murder?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while Sophia Caneiro was less than 14 years old?
Yes.
Count 5. How do you find as to count 5 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the felony murder of Jesse Caneiro?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 6 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the felony murder of Sophia Caneiro?
Guilty.
I think someone looked it up yesterday. Of or having to do with finances or money. I think it was either financial gain or monetary assets. I don't know. I tend to not look up victim families or even defendant families. So I wouldn't know if they were related, even if they were there. I just feel like if you're either of those parties and you're not giant butt monkeys with entitlement, I tend to not put you in my coverage because I find it icky. I don't like it when court TV does it. It's just icky to me.
How do you find as to count 7 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with aggravated arson as to the structure of 15 Willowbrook Road, Colts Neck?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 8 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with aggravated arson as to the structure of 27 Tilton Drive, Ocean Township?
Guilty.
Count 9. How do you find as to count 9 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with possession of a firearm for unlawful purpose?
Guilty.
Count 11, how do you find as to count 11 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with possession of a knife for an unlawful purpose?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 12 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the unlawful possession of a knife?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 13 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with theft?
Guilty.
Indicate the value of the pecuniary benefit the defendant received from the misapplication.
Check number 1.
All right. So it's $75,000 or more.
Yes.
Okay. How do you find as to count 14 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with misapplication of entrusted property?
Guilty.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro derive a pecuniary benefit from the misapplication?
Yes.
Indicate the value of the pecuniary benefit the defendant received from the misapplication.
1. 75,000 or more.
Okay, thank you. Count 15. How do you find as to count 15 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with hindering one's own apprehension or prosecution?
Guilty.
Count 16. How do you find as to count 16 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with hindering one's own apprehension or prosecution?
Guilty.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You can be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the foreman go through each one of the charges and indicated the verdict as to all of you. At this point in time, I'm going to ask the deliberating jurors. I'm just going to go by your seat number. That's it. And I'm just going to ask, do you agree with the entire verdict as was read by your foreman, juror number 1? Okay. Juror number 2.
Agreed.
Juror number 3.
Agreed.
Juror number 4.
Agreed.
Juror number 5.
Agreed.
Juror number 6.
Agreed.
Juror number 7.
Agreed.
Juror number 9.
Agreed.
Juror number 10.
Agreed.
Juror number 12.
Agreed.
Juror number 13.
Agreed.
And juror number 14.
Agreed.
Okay. Our jury has been polled. Is there any reason for the attorneys to approach the bench?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor at this point in time. I'm just going to ask for you to go into the jury room for a minute. All of you, you can all go in. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking up. I apologize. Okay. Mr. Caneiro, at this point in time, you no longer are presumed to be innocent. You have been convicted by a jury of your peers under 3:21-4A. You will now be detained and committed to the custody of the Commissioner of MCCI pending sentence. Your sentence will be scheduled for May the 12th, 2026, which is a Tuesday, and that is at 8:30 a.m. I will also, as a part of this, just so that the record is clear, as it relates to any motion for a new trial under 3:20-2, that there are 10 days from today's date for a motion for a new trial, which would be February 23rd. If the
Paula, guilty on all the charges. He didn't show any sadness, nothing. I think he was very aware of what was going on. There was a lot of crying in the gallery, but I don't know who belongs to who or what they're crying about. So I kind of tend to not dig into the victim's family or the defendant's family.
defense decides to file a motion for a new trial, the defendant's brief, I want everyone to have it now, will be due on March 16th, 2026 by 4:30 p.m. The state's response would be due by April the 6th, 2026 by 4:30 p.m. And the hearing date would be scheduled for April 20th, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. So again, if a motion is filed, those are the dates so that we do not have to come back for a briefing schedule. I'm giving it to you now so that we're all on the same page. At this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to excuse the jury, and then I will excuse everyone from the back. All right, so I just ask everyone to stay put for a minute, but I wanted to at least get that finished and put on the record.
Put him in cuffs, put him in cuffs,
Yes,
put him
grab
in
everything.
cuffs.
No.
Hey, hey.
No. Back in here. Okay. Everybody can be seated. Sorry, there was just something I had to handle before I excused you. So first and foremost, obviously, let me thank you. I've tried to do that a few times during the course of this, but at this point in time,
And guilty on
now I
all
lose control
charges.
of you. You lose control of me, which is probably good for you. You don't listen to me anymore. But I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the time that you have put into this from the week of January the 5th. Some people on this jury were here on that first day and have been here throughout the entire time. Our system of justice, if you remember what I said in the beginning, fails without people like yourselves for taking the time to sacrifice your time so that our system of justice can have jurors to come in and to render decisions on cases just like this. So the fact that you did that, and you did it, all of you did it with such professionalism, with dedication. I watched you each and every day. I told you before that you all paid attention. You very much were focused on the task at hand. And I commend all of you for what you've accomplished here, which is to render a decision as to this difficult case. That's number one. Number two, I said this to you before. I do my best to try to keep matters calm and here with some humor here and there. There's no humor in any of this, and everyone knows that. And I think I've said that before, but I say it again now so that you understand. I only do it because I understand the impacts that it has, and I wanted to make sure that you understood that I understood where you were coming from, and I tried to do
Oh,
that by
good,
keeping things
good
calm.
judge.
The third thing that I want to say is that at this point in time, I now lose control. And when I say that, as you leave here, the courthouse today, obviously, you weren't allowed to know anything about what was going on in the real world as it related to this case for an extended period of time. I want to remind you, everything that happens in that jury room, that's the sanctity of that jury room. That should be left there. I can't force you to not say anything, but I have to make sure that you.
Counterpoint to the judge. If you're a juror and you would like to share, when you're ready, call me. Well, DM me, because I'm not going to give out my number to the internet.
You understand, if for some reason you decided to either to speak out to the media or speak out to anyone else, if you say something there that has an impact on what happened here, then I'm going to have to bring you back, and I'm going to have to question you as it relates to whatever that you may or may not have said. I don't say that to threaten you or in any way. I just need you to understand the truth that would be something that I would need to do to make sure that process, that whatever went on in there, only you control what happened.
Addendum to my invitation. Don't go against the judge's orders. If you would like to talk personally about, um, you know, items of evidence that you found interesting, if the defense ever made a point that you thought was compelling, how many games of tic-tac-toe did you play? Uh, different things like that. Don't mess this up. That being said, yeah, if you wanna come on whenever you're ready, or if you never do, thank you for your service, and thank you for watching my stream, which I wouldn't imagine you would wanna do, but there you go.
Happened in there, and that's it. So I suggest
Yeah, it was in my other stream. I actually, decided to take a little lunch break because I figured we would maybe be closer to 5, so I wanted to get some food, and they came back right away, pretty much. But we did see that, and it was heartbreaking. I hope the family gets some peace, especially after how they tried to use his death and his being there, in their plan with no regard that he's a family member, he's a friend, he's, a son, he's a nephew. "Oh, no, you're fine." So, eh, that was heartbreaking because you could tell that this man only had the very most private thing about him kind of exploited, for, salacious stories and things like that.
you not to do that. Obviously, you'll be talking to your family and friends, and you can do that at this point. That's no problem at all. But I just remind you of that issue that could come up if you decide to speak to the media. It's publicized, and then ultimately there may be a question that I may have to ask you about that. So other than that, again, you'll now be leaving. I want to say thank you. I appreciate all of your time. If I'm the lucky one, maybe I'll see you in 3 years when I send you a new notice to come back. Otherwise, I really appreciate all your time and effort. Thank you very, very much.
Go away now, doofus. And as off-putting as as off-putting as their attitude, entitlement, and constant lateness is, I do hope that Katie has someone supportive and helpful and possibly medically, smart since she is pregnant, and regardless of my feelings about her or how she came across, this is probably the worst time, ever to feel like or to be pregnant and to wanna celebrate the joy of that. So I do hope that she again, regardless of anything, I hope she gets the love and support she needs, during this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Denise, you did. It was
Okay.
guilty
What we'll
on all
do is,
charges.
everyone can be seated. What we'll do is, at this point in time, Anna will go in. She will make sure that take out any notes or anything that may possibly in there so that they are immediately destroyed. However, if both sides can just wait to get your evidence so you can take that back with you, I would appreciate it. Anybody have any questions? We will see everyone back here on, as of right now, May 12th, unless there's a motion that's filed. Thank you all.
Now, he does have 10 days to file a motion from this date. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's okay. Maybe those are Jennifer. Oh, now I feel bad that I called him. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. If you guys remember, we were wondering why when the defense was, oh, defense, I have some things to say to you. Y- So I was wondering if you remember during the first part of the defense's never-ending closing, uh, this woman right here was doing this, and I was like, I couldn't figure it out because I think it's the weird way that the court is set up that I can't figure out who's for the defense and who's for the for the defendant or for the state. So it makes more sense that she would be going la 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 when this bint is on the talking. But I'm gonna need you. Listen, this is the second damn time I have wanted to pull a flip flop off. And look, I'm gonna be very real with you. I am not from a culture that generally or generally, that's our go-to. We're more wooden spoon people. But that is the second time I have seen you cut eyes at what ostensibly looks to be the victim's family, and Imma need you to slow your roll, ma'am. Imma need you to fucking slow your roll. I'm sorry, she has pissed me off. No, but here's the thing, Parallax. Stupid, dumb does not mean ineffective. They were there, his constitutional rights, uh, were look, I don't know where in the you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that atrocity against fashion, uh, that for some reason I thought was romantic? The Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, all denim Canadian prom, uh, costume? It reminds me of if you hacked that to death and made a suit, or you had, like, a Afghan and you just wanted to Von Trapp it. "The hills are alive." I mean, she's taken DIY just a little too far. But seriously, Kim K, Imma need you to slow your damn eyeballs. You do not have the life experience or the maturity to be writing checks with your eyes that nothing can cash, okay? Yeah, I'm beginning to think so because I am so all the confused. Now, I will let you guys know that when we do get to sentencing, victim impact statements are going to suck. Okay? Because not only are we going to have genuine, actual grief and sadness from the victim's family, we are going to have Paul's family possibly, and I hope not. I hope I am wrong about this, but we are going to have my dad was wrongfully accused, and I'm going to have to sit here and try not to be mean to them. I don't know that I will be successful. Yeah. Now, I do wonder, I hope they put him on increased monitoring because He's the type that I don't know if he will stay on this mortal coil uh to face responsibility, if you catch my drift. So I do hope they have good security on him. That being said, you know, Satan or Gen Pop, I really don't care. The manner is not. Well, I did make it easier to find. I put it down in the feed below. You don't have to, eh, as Megan Fox would say, breadstick money, not ramen noodle money, but I did make my Cash App the little money sign and then my channel name because I had something different in there so no one could find it. Now there is this little like block texty dealy thingamabob that I'm supposed to be able to take a picture of and then put it on my screen. But I'm going to be real honest with you guys. I have no idea how to do that, nor do I feel comfortable grifting with a doodly dad thing. And this is when I would make my move. When they think everyone has left, flying, crouching tiger, hitting hidden dragon stuff. And I am getting just one good, probably. I'm not gonna lie, they would probably be able to figure it out in 2 seconds and then clown me for the rest of the day for how awful I am at it. So, how is Kim K going to spend 18,000 years on closing and less than 5 hours for a guilty? Yeah, that's the other thing. Oh, she's like, "Don't drop the soap unless you're into that." Um, you know, I wouldn't trust the peanut butter, but you do you. And you guys, I am the type of petty that every month, like, so Corey doesn't have to, oh, yes, yes. Take him away, Calgon, take him away. Put him in cuffs. Put him in cuffs. Yeah, I would double glove, ma'am. Like he's like he's got herpes for the soul. I'm just ugh. Oh, he's resisting. He's resisting. Someone get a taser. Oh, look at that. He's struggling. Someone help. This is why I wouldn't be allowed to be a police officer. Or I would be totally professional and then someone would trip. Allegedly in Minecraft. Look, I am clumsy. You guys, I'm clumsy. Yeah, I've never seen them glove up for that. Kinda interesting. And we had the au pair, sentencing. She did get 10 years. Now, I don't know if because she got a plea deal and 10 years, if good behavior pretty much. If good behavior, will still affect her, I'll have to kind of dig more into Virginia law today. Yeah, the thing is, Parallax, again, I'm not a jailologist or a prisonologist, but I have heard, generally it is common knowledge that you don't mess with children and have a good time in prison. They kind of just it's kind of a not a thing that you wanna do. JKD Buck, he was found guilty on all charges. He will be coming back for sentencing in May. And, uh, everyone on the jury agreed, so that's kind of where we were. And then I figured we would finish up with, the dressing down of this heifer. And then I don't know, I know I have Shizzy's stream tonight and then Friday night, so other than that, I don't know what I'll be doing the rest of the day other than probably cleaning my room. I I mean, not that I'm motivated to clean my room, if I'm being fair, but I need to clean my room, so one of those, be a grown-up kinda things. You were correct, JKD Buck. He really didn't have any reaction. Now, what was very sweet to me, okay, maybe it's the mom in me, but the 2 little interns, okay, they're grown people, grown adults, but the state's, interns, they started crying on the first guilty, and then they really cried, during the kids, but they worked their tookuses off. They did work their tookuses. So, here's my plan for this weekend, depending on what time Squid Pro Quo and fans stuff is on Saturday. I will plan to do a, "Hmm, where did the defense go wrong?" Now, we will be doing is watching the cavalcade of character witnesses at 1.5 to 1.2 speed, and we will just be having fun with it. Now, not not terribly mean fun, like, not "We're gonna ruin your soul," but just, again, remind me of a family man again. Then on Monday, we will be starting the Faust trial. So okay, thank you so much. I I am have I so I can sort of, multitask. Now there is another creator that was doing this trial that I'm going to try to reach out to, well, I need to double check her videos because I don't know if she would like our kind of humor, and I don't wanna I wanna be respectful of other people's streams because I know my humor is not everyone's cup of tea, so I need to continue. It's Professor Joe Explains. So I need to watch some more of her streams, but if I can work it out, we might see if we can do a stream or a panel about this particular trial. But again, I do realize that, I have the dance of logic. I need to do the logic, jingle because I always loved we're tangenting. I always love in that chapter, like, the insurance dance, and I always thought, if I'm ever gonna be a streamer or something like that, I'm gonna, have my own dance, and I never felt the real, like I never shut up long enough that we need to, do an interpretive dance. So that's my thing. I need to do a little, like, logic, dance jingle that I can do with a overlay or something. Because we need a logic break too. Well, yeah, no, I know that. I just haven't really looked at her, particular streams, and like I said, I don't ever want to look. we have a dark sense of humor. We kinda own it over here, never at the victims, but sometimes people might think that we're inappropriate. I don't know where they get these allegations from because we never claim to be appropriate, but I always wanna be respectful of other people's channels too. So, I'm gonna check her out, see if, she would be at all interested, in doing anything because Now yeah, there's Faust. I know that, Corey Richins is coming back or coming up here at the end of February. So I'm hoping that we can get the Faust one done if we do a speed run, skip breaks. We may be able to get, like, day 1 and 2 done on Monday if we do a speed run. And then we will have Sunday Shenanigans, probably 9:30. It will be, again, Ask Me Anything. This time I will try to answer so basically what we do on Sunday Shenanigans at 9:30 is that I find funny cop videos, to watch. Just basically type in "funny body cam," and then, it's kind of just a hangout, ask me anything. This time, it seemed like, there was a big kind of maybe desire or wanna talk vent about chronic pain, so that will be what our hangout will slash be. Yes, it was guilty on all charges, all counts. The sentencing will be in May, so, we will be covering that as well. Do be mindful that there will be victim impact statements, so those are gonna be hard as heck. Whose hangout? With Squid and Flash Fan. I was gonna say look, if I say Flash Fan too fast, I'll say Flan Fat. Look, it is a hop, skip, and a jump away from my dumb mouth saying not Flash Fan, but Fleshlight. It's a thing now that I have spoken it into the universe, that is going to be the only thing I can say. No, no, my brain wouldn't even go there. No. No, for some reason, it decided to backwards-ize the name and then come up with something that no one would come up with. She's gonna need that and maybe a lot of booze. Now, you guys, I will be, uh look, they're funny. It's hilarious. Who would have thought that? Yes. So I'm gonna try to recap so I know something going in on Monday. Yeah, I'm trying to get a feel for how long it's gonna take us because it'll be nice to have something that we can watch kind of at our leisure and take our time before we have, before we have Corey Rich's case where we're gonna try to stay, in theory, on time. We'll still probably do our patented, speed through method, where we start a little bit later and, we can go, speed through, maybe lunch and then I don't know. I think that's also one that we're supposed to be doing with myself and Nick. So I have no idea. Any hoozle, I am going to check out for a little bit actually. We will do the defense. What in the hell was this defense tomorrow in the afternoon? And then we will have Sunday shenanigans and a vent stream about chronic pain. Ask me anything. So that kind of thing. Anything you want to know. Holy fazolies. Yes. Bye, you guys. Have a great time, and don't forget I'll be on Shizzy's, channel tonight for our pregame show, and then on Friday night with the expert, so let's hang out. Bye, you guys.